Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Alexis informs Drew and Jason of Sam's wishes for her children, and Dante thinks about his and Rocco's future. Today on General Hospital, Michael confides in Portia, Trina offers Kai a chance, and Sunny makes Christina an offer. At Sunny's gym, Dex notices Kai working out and introduces himself, mentioning that they both know Trina. He explains that his girlfriend is Trina's best friend, Joss. Kai believes Dex is a PCU student, while Dex claims he is a cop. Kai hopes Trina did not send Dex to arrest him and briefly discusses his issues with Trina. Dex describes Trina as a darling and one of the sharpest individuals he knows. He questions Kai's absence from PCU's cutting-edge gym. Kai arrived here to spar, which his instructor does not approve of, and invites Dex to join him in the ring. They enter the ring to spar gently and converse about sports while doing so. Kai offers Dex complimentary tickets to forthcoming games for him and Joss, and Dex expresses gratitude. Dex describes himself as a decent guy. Kai believes he can persuade Trina of that. Sunny prepares Christina's dinner at his restaurant. She is concerned about the next trial and afraid that she may make a mistake. He assures her that no matter what, she will survive. Christina doesn't want to survive. She seeks justice. Sunny believes she needs something else to focus on and invites her to come work for him. She claims she can't since she's trying to figure out her life right now. He claims she can figure it out while learning to run one of his firms. He advises she establish a coffee business, and Christina says she'll think about it. Trina and Joss sit at Bobby's and share fries. Trina is waiting for Kai and is unsure whether she should cooperate with him. He should have arrived here by now. Joss claims he is not late yet, but Trina argues that she should do the task alone. Joss claims she's looking for a reason not to work with him. Trina does not want to drag him along if he is not interested in painting, as this is a difficult course. Joss proposes that he try art. She admits that she has a tendency to be overly controlling. Trina says that life is easier when she is in control. Joss understands where she is coming from, and relying on someone new can be difficult. However, she thinks it's okay that some things are beyond their control, so she encourages Trina to give Kai a chance. Trina says she did, and this was his only one, so he's officially late now. Trina decides to leave, but Joss promises he'll only be 10 minutes late. Kai arrives and apologizes to Trina for being late. He did not account for traffic and forgot his laptop, so he had to return to his room to retrieve it. Joss goes to buy takeout for herself and Dex, and Christina appears and chats with her at the counter. She thanks her for attending Sam and Adela's funerals. Joss expresses her deep sorrow for each of her losses. Joss hopes she is taking care of herself. Christina is trying, and she's delighted she ran into her since she owes her an apology. She also needs to express her gratitude for saving her life following the fall. She remembers hearing her voice in the ambulance, which was really comforting. Christina says she'll never forget how she stood up for her, despite their past. Joss apologizes for what she is going through. Their conversation shifts to the trial, and Joss announces she will be testifying to ensure Ava receives what she is owed. They both desire justice, Christina for Adela and Joss for Morgan. Trina and Kai get to work, and Trina makes a list of the tasks required for their project. Kai had previously compiled a list of books for their project and forwarded it to her. She wonders when he had time to accomplish this. He admits to getting little sleep and finished it at 3 a.m. Trina admits she has been having difficulties sleeping lately as well. Trina and Kai leave, and Kai adds that if she needs to talk about the project, she should contact him because he will most likely be awake. Meanwhile, Joss smiles as she watches Trina and Kai depart together. Jordan comes at the hospital with food for her and TJ, and the two proceed to the break room. Jordan inquires as to his well-being, knowing that she had feelings for Sam. He did, and the service was good. She asks about Molly. TJ isn't sure how she's doing because Molly and Alexis left after the service to care for something. TJ says that he and Alexis forgot Molly's birthday was yesterday. He had a gift for her but forgot it at the apartment, and he only realized it was her birthday when he heard Rick wish her a good one. He hates that he forgot Molly's birthday, but Jordan explains that it was the day before Sam's burial, so it is reasonable. She suspects Molly wasn't in the mood to celebrate. He thinks it's not okay, as Rick and Christina, the most self-centered people he knows, recall. He thinks this is normal for him and Molly lately. Jordan thinks he'll make it up to Molly. TJ tells his mother that Drew and Jason both arrived to the service with bruises, something Jordan is unaware of. She suspects they got into a fight. TJ jokes that she probably needs new friends. She reveals she has a new acquaintance, and she plans to introduce TJ to them after she learns more about them. Sasha is in the Quartermain kitchen baking cinnamon rolls when Michael arrives looking for food. She notices he hasn't been to supper recently and offers to cook him something. They make small talk, and he decides he is no longer hungry. She asks what's going on and why he's here. Michael responds, "Because I can't go home." They sat down, and she asks why not. Michael believes the falsehoods between him and Willow are building up, and he tells Sasha that he discovered Willow and Drew had slept together. If he confronts Willow, he must reveal everything he knows about her and Drew. He pledges to keep her name out of it, which Sasha appreciates because she needs the job. Michael says that he told Jason about this, which resulted in a fight between him and Drew. He then had to watch his wife mend her relationship with her lover, and the way she looked at Drew was the same as it had been with him. He wonders if she loves him anymore. Willow told Sasha that she loves Michael, and Sasha believes her. However, Willow's willingness to risk her family suggests a connection with Drew, which Michael recognizes. He thanks her for the conversation but is still unsure what he will do. Nonetheless, he will keep her name out of it. Drew arrives to meet Alexis in her office. She wants to know who did that to his face. Just suddenly, Jason enters. The brothers aren't happy to see each other. Alexis reveals she invited them both, knowing they wouldn't come if they knew the other was going to be present. Drew confirms her understanding and instructs Alexis to explain the situation later. She informs them that this is about Sam and her wishes for Danny and Scout. She hands them copies of Sam's will, which they read, and Jason wonders why Sam never told him about it. Alexis claims she just discovered the will, and Jason realizes the date was before Sam realized he was still alive. Drew claims he and Sam spoke, and she wanted the kids to stay together, so he agreed that if something occurred, he would take custody of Danny. Alexis informs Jason that, while the law is on his side in regards to Danny, Sam wanted the kids to stay together, and he and Sam were only recently coming to an agreement on Danny. Jason claims Danny is old enough to choose where he wants to live. Jason says he informed Danny that he could live with him if that's what he wanted. Drew believes Danny enjoys living in the Quartermain home, but Jason does not want to be told what his kid wants or likes. Alexis doesn't want to get caught up in their turmoil, but she does ask about the bruises on their faces. Their quiet causes her to believe they engaged in a fistfight. She reminds them that if they ever loved Sam and their children, they will stop arguing and start talking. They acknowledge they got in a brawl. Alexis cannot believe they argued so soon after their children lost their mother. She inquires what they told the children about their bruises. Drew claims he told them he walked into a door, but Danny and Rocco did not believe him. Jason told Danny the truth, but he didn't explain why they were fighting. Alexis inquires as to the nature of the conversation, and Drew and Jason agree that it is private. Jason claims Danny is his child, and he will battle for Danny's right to choose what he wants. Jason then storms out. Drew and Alexis debate what happens next. He asks if she's comfortable with Danny living with Jason. Alexis isn't, and she recommends Danny and Scout live with her. Drew appreciates Danny's desire to be present for Scout, but he wants his daughter to live with him. Jason goes to see Sunny regarding the custody situation and Sam's will. He says Danny wants to stay with Scout, but he doesn't believe Danny will stay with Drew. However, he is aware that he has already let Danny down, and he must do what is best for him. Sunny informs Jason that if it were him, he would not allow Drew to approach Danny. Sunny promises if this turns into a fight, he has his back. Chase visits Dante and Sam's house and discovers the door ajar. He enters with a revolver drawn, scaring Dante. Dante says that he left the door open, and it is his fault. He's lugging several luggage and tells that he's temporarily relocating to Quartermain. Chase wonders if he'll ever return here. Dante claims he has no right to this property because it is Sam's, and the family who had resided here no longer lives. Dante explains that he modified his will to leave Rocco with Sam so that the kids might be together if something happened to him, and that he now needs to find a place for himself and Rocco to live without Scout and Danny. Liz inquired whether Portia was implying that she was guilty for Sam's death. Portia stated that they needed to do an inquiry to determine what happened and offered to resume the talk with a union representative on hand. Despite Molly Lansing Davis' attempts to get her to leave her office, Alexis Davis was eager to find Sam's will. Molly also stated that Rick Lansing was going to summon her as a witness in Ava Jerome's impending trial, which made Alexis angry. Alexis was concerned that it would undo everything Molly and Christina Corinthos Davis had accomplished. When Alexis found Sam's will, she discovered that Drew Quartermain was listed as the guardian for both Scout Quartermain and Danny. Alexis felt it was because Sam wanted to keep her children together. However, Alexis did recognize that Sam stated such wishes a few years ago, before Jason Morgan returned following his apparent death. Molly and Alexis debated whether Sam left the will that way on purpose. Although Jason was not going to like it, Alexis was determined to ensure Sam's wishes were fulfilled and that her children were a package deal. Danny placed flowers on Sam's and the newborn girls' graves in the cemetery. After Danny inquired about Jason's thoughts on Paradise, he admitted to injuring Lucas earlier and expressed regret. Danny also questioned Jason about what happened to Drew because he suspected they had argued. Jason refused to reveal the source of their disagreement and received an earful from Danny, who warned him he could face arrest. Danny pointed out that Drew wasn't the only one who suffered injuries. Jason's actions also harmed Danny and Scout, who likely felt Drew's cover-up story was false. Jason promised it wouldn't happen again and assumed Sam would be proud of Danny for calling him out, so he hugged his kid. Dante Falconeri discovered Christina looking through Sam's belongings and confessed his guilt. Since Sam spared Lulu Spencer to assist Dante and Rocco Falconeri, Dante felt responsible for her death. Christina assured Dante that Sam made her own decision and that it was okay to be relieved that Lulu lived. The talk soon went to Ava's trial, and Dante and Christina were prepared to bring her down because they had been called as witnesses. At Turning Woods, Lulu opened her gown to reveal a wound on her side. When Lulu lifted the bandage, she noticed the scar from her liver transplant surgery. Because Lulu could hear Cyrus Renaud chatting to her doctor in the corridor, she remembered bickering with Cyrus after her article was published. In that flashback, which was undoubtedly replicated with Alexa Havens in the part, Cyrus warned Lulu that he was in a position to make her life unpleasant. When Cyrus appeared at Lulu's bedside, she claimed to be comatose again as Cyrus promised to care for her. Cyrus also spoke with Lulu's doctor about her much improved vitals, but he preferred to inform Laura Collins himself and urged her against giving her false hope that Lulu might awaken. Once Lulu was alone again, she got out of bed and fell to the floor. Lulu used the bed to get back up and rubbed her legs before attempting to walk again. According to General Hospital spoilers, Lulu will continue to demonstrate her ferocious drive, therefore we'll offer you more predictions for the upcoming shockers. According to General Hospital spoilers, Christina Corinthos Davis and Molly Lansing Davis' recent lovely and heartfelt moments feel like the calm before the storm. While they were at each other's throats just a few weeks ago, the death of their sister, Sam McCall, has allowed them to put their feud on hold. Not only do they need one another during this difficult time, but they also care about their mother, Alexis Davis, and her sadness. During the Wednesday, November 20th episode, Alexis was in her office with Molly, feverishly searching for Sam's will, when it was revealed that she would be testifying for the defense in the Ava Jerome trial for the Metro Court accident that killed baby Irene or Adela. Fans can easily see that Ava could be acquitted based on what Molly says on the stand. While Christina seeks vengeance and demands that Ava pay, the truth is that her mishap in Ava's Metro Court suite was really an accident. Ava is many things, but she did not want any of this to happen, or for Christina and Molly's baby to die. Still, as GH viewers know, Christina is beyond reason at this point. She seeks justice for baby Irene/Adela's death and will not stop until she believes it has been served. With that said, will Christina redirect her vengeful efforts on her sister once Ava is exonerated of charges? Christina will initially suspect Molly of trying to pull a quick one because she is unaware of Molly's testimony. Especially because Molly's father, Rick Lansing, is Ava's lawyer and called her to the stand. Christina may assume that Molly's testimony stunt was just another way for her to exact revenge for wanting to keep the baby after birth and not saying anything. In fact, if Molly ends up partially blaming Christina for the baby's death on the stand, it will be like pouring salt in Christina's already deep wound. Chase offers he purchased this property, but Dante declines. He'll establish his own space for himself and Rocco. He doesn't want to stay at the QS for too long given what's going on between Drew and Jason. Chase believes that's why he should stay here with Rocco, Danny, and Scout. Dante claims Drew and Jason are their fathers, although he has no claim to them. He should focus on locating a place to live. Chase believes there is no rush and acknowledges that, while he and Brooklyn have their own apartment, he prefers staying with the QS. He believes Dante will also. Chase chooses to go and adds, "See you at home." Dante realizes what he did there. When left alone, Dante examines his set of keys and walks around the flat. Next on General Hospital, Mac hands Sasha a letter from Robert. Christina assures Molly that she will do whatever it takes to get Ava convicted. TJ informs Stella that Ava's trial is the last place he should be. Rick assures that Ava will win. Michael informs Curtis that he will not be Aurora's CEO for much longer. Jason informs Dante that he will not hand Danny up to Drew. Trina is startled. Ned ends Jason and Drew's fight, Lois discovers a secret, and Christina remembers Molly's birthday. Jason confronts Nina and Drew when Michael tells him that he slept with Willow, and Brooklyn and Chase try for a baby. At her office, Alexis agrees to seek justice for the baby. Christina wants help preparing for Ava's trial so she can be certain she is found guilty. Alexis claims she should know what to say word by word. Christina intends on telling the truth. Alexis says that the lawsuit may not go the way she desires. Christina believes she can handle Rick, but Alexis knows better. Christina yells about wanting Ava to feel the anguish of losing Avery from her arms. Alexis is taken aback by how angry and icy she sounds when talking about Ava, as if she were monstrous, just like Sunny. Christina does not believe Ava deserves to be treated as a human. Christina considers it justice, but Alexis calls it revenge. Chrissy believes they go hand in hand in this scenario. Rick discovers Ava in Cafe Sherry. She's concerned by his enigmatic request to meet to discuss her trial. He warns her it's not a slam dunk, but that doesn't help her nervousness. He reminds her of the facts and that they are unsure whether the jury will see things their way. She describes Christina as explosive and unpredictable. Like you? That hurts her, but Rick wants her to be ready for what will be said about her. She complains about not being a monster, despite the fact that she is well aware of her shortcomings. Rick said her attitude right now does not speak well for how she will behave on the witness stand. They will charge her with every offense she has ever committed. Taking a stand is their only weapon, therefore she must confront her history and accept everything. Ava does not believe anyone in court will understand what she has done. Rick understands how one misdeed leads to another, how they lose individuals they care about and must deal with the remorse. Rick claims they're not that different, and he's not passing judgment on her. She perks up a little at his candor, and he gives her a sample question about how she felt throwing Christina out the window. Did it feel the same as when you shot Connie Falconeri in cold blood? Ava loses color in her face as they discuss the case, and she wishes she could undo those dreadful acts. He reminds her that she killed Morgan, but she insists she did not. She loved him. He brings up the placebos she gave him, which caused his breakdown and put him in the wrong location at the wrong time, resulting in his death. Ava cries. She blames herself for his collapse, yet she did not cause the explosion. She prays constantly for forgiveness. Ava wished she hadn't let Cates leave his suitcase in her room. She would never harm a pregnant woman. In fact, she can't sleep at night because she keeps thinking about what happened. She understands how hard it is. She lost Kiki and claims she would give anything to give Chrissy her kid back. Rick says to deliver that precise speech on the stand. Ava is perplexed, but he insists she take responsibility. They will win. Trina discovers TJ at the gym. He's been staying active. She is sorry to hear about Sam's death and wants to know how Molly is doing. TJ has no idea. He had barely seen her. They sit and chat about Irene's death and how they haven't dealt with it. Trina proposes additional time, but he's not convinced that's enough. Trina can relate. She felt alone following Spencer's death. She is certain they will sort it out, but he acknowledges Molly is more distant than ever. He cannot blame her. They start working out together when Kai Taylor walks in, upsetting Trina's day. She complains, and TJ pumps up the quarterback. Trina informs him that they are class partners, but he never shows up to help with their project. TJ tells her to talk to him. He goes off when Kai appears, and Trina starts yelling at him for working out at her gym. He claims his home is being remodeled and he wants to make things right with her. He intends to attend their classes and will work hard. She's already requested for a new partner, so she says and goes away. Isaiah finds Molly at Bobby's, where she has dropped her copy of Little Woman. She purchased it as a birthday gift. He bids her a good day, and she thanks him, admitting that nobody remembers. She tells him everyone's dealing with her sister's death. He is sorry. She acknowledges it doesn't feel real, and he wants to know what occurred. She describes the surgery and heart attack. Isaiah asks whether her sister's Sam McCall. She says yes and discovers he is the surgeon who operated on Lulu. Introductions are made, and Isaiah offers sympathies. They decide to eat together, so he goes to grab her a cupcake with a candle. He sings the birthday song to her, and she is uncomfortable but blows out the candle. Isaiah proposes she simply read the first half of Little Women, which is the happiest part. He explains that he read it overseas. She introduces herself as Meg, the responsible one, Christina as Amy, pampered and impetuous, and Sam as Joe, opinionated and independent. She chokes up with memories. Later, Isaiah leaves and receives a call from Dr. Randolph. He goes off to meet him, and Christina goes inside with a gift for her sister. It is a necklace. Molly is touched. They exchange smiles, and Christina mentions that Molly's letter M looks similar to her own. She hopes Molly doesn't mind that they match. At home, Michael asks Willow how she feels about Drew's move to Washington, D.C. She's relieved since Michael won't be reminded of the kiss she shared with him. Michael is relieved Drew is leaving, but he is unsure whether it is enough to restore his marriage. Willow believes they can work things out, but Michael wants the truth before they do anything. Willow appears innocent. Michael loves her, but they have not been honest with each other. She expresses regret. He reminds her that he has withheld prior things from her, and it has become a habit for them. Willow despised lying to him. Jason greets Nina and Drew at the Quartermain mansion. Nina inquires as to if he plans to congratulate his brother on his election to Congress. Drew goes forward to shake Jason's hand, but Jason pulls away and hits Drew in the head. Drew falls, and Nina gasps. Drew jumps up and confronts Jason, and they begin fighting and punching each other. Nina screams, and everyone in the other room rushes to see what is going on. Portia has terrible news for Liz regarding Sam's autopsy results, and Alexis is shocked by her daughter's will. Today on General Hospital, Portia receives Sam's autopsy report, Alexis discovers Sam's will, and Lulu panics when Cyrus visits. On today's General Hospital, Lucky and Liz discuss Sam's service outside of Bobby's. He considers on his actions, how he hasn't stepped up, and how he doesn't want to offer Aiden or Liz false hope. She advises him not to avoid either of them, but to make a decision and commit. First time for everything. Lucky begins to stammer over what he is thinking, and Liz simply asks him if he is thinking about returning to Africa. He is. He can aid folks there, at the very least. But when Lucky inquires about Elizabeth's support, she notices Lucas inside and goes to check on him, leaving her ex looking after her. Inside, Lucas admits to Liz and Lucky that he would have been a distraction. He could be the reason she's left. He tells them about Danny and doesn't hold him accountable for what he said, but it still stings. He admits that he was having second thoughts about attending the funeral before Danny. Liz says they'll hopefully have answers soon after the autopsy report is returned, but he can't blame himself in the meanwhile. Then he receives a call from Portia, summoning him to her office. She's received the results. After he leaves, they chat about how bad they feel about Lucas. Nobody anticipated Sam to go through this. She appeared to be well. Brennan walks in and casually meets Lucky. Alexis is upset in her office, searching through her boxes for Sam's will and refusing to leave or allow Molly to assist her. Alexis adds she knows at least one of Sam's wishes. She's glad Molly and Christina have gotten together. They then discuss the trial commencing tomorrow and how unfortunate the timing is. When Molly tells Alexis that Rick has enlisted her as a witness in Ava's defense, she loses her cool. Asking Molly to testify in support of the lady who caused Molly to lose her baby is cold-blooded. Molly admits that if she were protecting Ava, she would do the same. She believes she doesn't have a choice if Rick summons her to the stand, but Alexis warns it might ruin the family and how can Rick put her in this situation? Molly claims that this is Rick's way of helping her let go and move forward. Alexis discovers the will when she realizes that she does not have to testify. After reading through in quiet, she informs Scout and Danny that Drew has been named as their legal guardians. She reveals that Sam wanted to ensure that her children remain together, but Alexis isn't sure whether she and Dante were even dating when this was drafted, and Jason was still dead. Molly, however, thinks that Sam may not have modified it on purpose. She could have had legitimate reservations about Jason, and this was what she wanted. Alexis claims they'll never know for certain whether this is what she really wanted. They're not sure if Jason will want custody of Danny, but they know he wouldn't want Drew to have it. Yeah, no, that's not happening, Molly agrees. Danny places flowers on Sam's grave while Jason watches, then adds one on young Lila's grave. He asks Jason whether he believes Sam is at peace. Jason claims she is. She missed baby Lila every day. He would like to believe they are both in heaven together. They discuss Sam's love for all of her children and the importance of family, and Danny admits to hurting Uncle Lucas. Danny is the reason he wasn't at the funeral. He regrets telling Lucas that it was his fault and wishes he could undo everything. Sam adored Lucas. Jason consoles his son, explaining he was upset, angry, and had just lost his mother. Danny acknowledges he's only trying to make sense of his mom's absence, and Jason gently suggests there may not be one. Danny asks his father for advice on how to avoid taking his anger out on others, and Jason reveals that he, too, struggles with this. Is that what happened with you and Uncle Drew? He describes how he realized what had happened, and Jason inquires, has anyone ever told you you're too smart for your own good? Jason says he became upset and lost control, but he won't explain why. Don't worry about him going to prison because Drew isn't filing charges. Danny reminds him that while the fight was between them, they were not the only ones hurt. Dante returns home and takes in the emptiness before Christina comes downstairs with a box of Sam's belongings, eager to assist so Dante does not have to. She offers to leave, but he asks her to stay. Dante begins talking about all he and Sam were planning to do when she returned home. However, all of those plans have now come to naught. They had one day after proposing to contemplate about their future together before she died. Christina responds that when Sam mentioned the engagement, Alexis saw her at her happiest. And Dante gave her that. He is partially soothed, but worries if Sam died because of me. If she noticed a problem, she wanted to solve it. Just as she sought to ease his and Rocco's grief about the possibility of losing Lulu. Christina tells him it was Sam's decision. That killed her, Dante countered. Okay, but it's not his fault. What happened is not fair. Life is not fair. She begins about Adela and Sam, then apologizes for making it about her. Dante quickly shuts it down, claiming her sorrow is just as valid as anyone else's. When he says he wishes Sam had been more selfish, Christina points out that doing so would have meant burying Lulu instead. He would never have chosen Lulu's life over Sam's. Christina believes he's entitled to feel grateful Lulu is still alive, and it doesn't disrespect Sam at all. Deep down, he understands it's not his fault. Lulu wakes up and massages her face before looking at her medical band. She gradually focuses on the hospital room, then winces as she attempts to move. She raises her gown and removes the bandage, hyperventilating slightly when she discovers the surgical scar. She grabs for the nurse's button, only to hear voices. The doctor is speaking with Cyrus about her progress and explains that he is the one who recommended this facility to Lulu. Lulu closes her eyes and recalls Cyrus addressing her prior to the coma, threatening her that it is in her best interests to make time for him or he will make her life extremely difficult. He goes in and sits by her bedside while she pretends to be unconscious. He's delighted she's making improvement and promises to take care of you. Just as I promised. The doctor says he'll inform the family about how much Lulu has improved, but Cyrus prefers to do it himself. He does not want to give the family false optimism that Lulu would wake up. They leave, and a nurse checks on Lulu while she pretends to be out. After everyone has left, she struggles to sit up and stand. It does not work. She sinks on the ground. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.